is one of the most ingenious inventions in the musical history. Although the modern flute has a complex and more advanced appearance, the Baroque flute has a wonderful secret that is still difficult to understand how it was discovered. The modern flute, as you can see, has a lot of holes. Each hole determines the length of the flute. So it's basically simple. The flute is a tube with a large number of sizes that can be controlled by closing and opening the valves. But the Baroque flute is much simpler. It has only one key and 7 holes. Well then, it looks more primitive, but it has all the possibilities of a modern flute, and even more than that. So how is that possible? The makers of the Baroque flute in the 18th century tried to understand why, when they pierced the holes of the flute, it sounded accurate in the low octave and completely out of tune in the higher octave. They discovered that it all depends on the drilling of the bore of the flute. When they did a conical bore, the flute was in perfect harmony and in perfect intonation. But when they did it cylindrical, it lost its intonation. And in the most wonderful way, they were able to achieve most perfect musical instrument with a tremendous value to the musical world. Why, therefore, the modern flute was developed, you may ask? Simply because the Baroque flute has a very intimate and delicate sound, and there was a great demand for a powerful sounds because the electronic amplification was not developed yet. The Baroque flute is an amazing discovery. One might say that the price that we pay by developing the modern flute, with all of its sophistication and technology, we lost part of the soul of the flute. And by making and playing the Baroque flute, we are reviving the soul of the world.